And don't forget happy hour for half-price fountain drinks and slushes.
She was a young mother of two just beginning her life.
But almost 40 years ago, someone killed her and left her in the snow along a rural Morgan County road. Tonight, someone wants us to take another look at this cold case mystery.
WHNT News 19's Carson Clark joins us now with this special report. And Carson, we don't know who sent us the letter.
That's right, Elise. A few months ago, we received this letter in the mail. There was no name attached. They wrote asking us to look into the murder of Joyce Drake from 1970. The person also included this stack of newspaper articles about the case. So tonight, WHNT News 19 is shining new light on this cold case, murder in the snow. January 7th, 1970. The new year and the new decade were just a week old. 4 men had recently walked on the moon. The future looked bright. But there was an icy chill in the air that was about to settle across one Morgan County community that still sends shivers up people's spines.
We couldn't believe it happened here, you know, in Morgan County. To have back then, you know, it just didn't happen.
What happened on that snowy January day is still a mystery. The body of a 20-year-old mother of two turned up on the side of a rural county road lying in the snow. Someone had stabbed her to death. Weeks following, newspapers were filled with the chilling details of her brutal murder.
People were afraid because we didn't really know why, and we didn't know, we knew the person was still out there that had killed her, and he might kill again.
Joyce Sanders Drake graduated from Falkville High School in 1967. Her classmate, Pam Bryant Owens, remembers her friend and her loving personality.
Always joking, had a lot of friends. She was a pretty girl. She had blonde hair.
The story of that young blonde girl's murder begins here at this old building in the Cold Springs community. Her parents ran a store here, and Joyce, as she often did, jumped in her father's old Chevy, took off down the road alone.
And she was evidently taking money to the bank at the time.
Joyce made it here to the bank in Falkville and cashed $400 worth of checks. But something happened on her way home. Somewhere between the bank and her parents' store, someone else got in that truck.
I think everybody else was felt about the same way how this could happen, apparently in daylight.
Former Morgan County Sheriff Buford Burgess worked Joyce's case. During his 10 years in office, he never came up with answers to questions like who got in the truck and why did Joyce pick him up.
I don't think they ever even had a lead. I don't think there was ever a suspect that we knew of.
Someone spotted Joyce driving back past her parents' store that day with a red-headed man in the seat beside her. That was the last time she was seen alive. A search began, and a few hours later, someone spotted the truck here on Union Hill Church Road, but no sign of Joyce. Then at 9 p.m., almost 12 hours after she left, men searching the area found her mutilated body here on the side of Lawrence Cove Road, lying in the snow.
We heard that there was red hair in her hands, and she did have skin under her fingernails, so evidently there was a struggle.
Investigators at the time indicated Joyce Drake fought hard against her attacker, but it was no use. She wasn't sexually assaulted, but the money she picked up at the bank was gone. County and state investigators worked hour after hour trying to find out who killed Joyce Drake. 2 months later, this headline in the Decatur Daily declared an arrest was near. The story quotes an investigator as saying, "We feel real progress has been made and that a solution to the case will be reached soon." And the story also says this, quote, "I can't comment on this much, but I suspect it will be someone known to the family," end quote. That was March of 1970. Investigators never made that arrest.
Every day and then we'd get a tip on something and we'd follow it up. We followed it vigorously, we really did, because that's one of the few cases that hadn't been solved.
There were no DNA tests in 1970, and we don't know who investigators came close to arresting. For 4 decades now, someone has gotten away with murder.
We felt like victims too, because we loved her and we wanted justice. We wanted to know who did that and to why. We wanted, the questions why. And, what was the motive, what really happened that day.
As much as this murder gripped the community, the county, and North Alabama, time eventually marched on, and interest in this murder in the snow melted away, with only those who loved her remembering this young mother's lost battle for justice. Now, while no arrest was ever made, investigators did come to some conclusions. They believe Joyce Drake's attacker was a local because he seemed to know the roads very well, and he also had knowledge that Joyce made frequent trips to the bank. Also, they believe Joyce recognized her attacker because she would never pick up someone she didn't know. And Jerry Elise, if Joyce Drake were still alive, she would be celebrating her 60th birthday on May 12th.
And what about her family?
Well, we're not sure what happened to the husband or her 2 sons. Her parents are deceased, but we found one brother, and the family declined to participate in our story.
Carson, you got to believe that somebody out there knows something.
You almost have to believe that, because it was a local person, and usually, people will talk about things like that. So somebody probably knows what happened.
Case not closed, I guess.
It's not. Still open.
All right, thanks,
Carson,
Carson.
thanks.